Alright, so I just wanted to do a video on like a discussion, except it's nothing like a discussion because I'm talking and you're just listening. So, sorry about that. Um, on Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the cartoon, the animated series that started in 2011, I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's not that important of a detail, is it? Um, so I just finished watching season 2, and that is officially the last season because the show is getting cancelled. Um, yeah, so I watched season 2 all in one go, like I watched it as it was coming out, and then season 2 I sort of forgot about the show a little bit, and I watched the first half and then had a big gap, and then watched the rest of it this week. I just finished it off. Um, First off, I just want to say that it's a whether you like the show or not, it's a huge shame that they decided to cancel it, and because Marvel constantly is rearranging around their shows and doing. They like their cinematic universe and they like to have it exactly how they want it, and sometimes it's a little frustrating because I remember when I was watching Spectacular Spider-Man, and I loved that show when it was on, and that only had 2 seasons, and then it got cancelled, and then they announced that they were going to bring out Ultimate Spider-Man, and I was angry, but I was also super excited for Ultimate Spider-Man because I thought they could do something amazing with it. I thought it could have the potential to be better than Spectacular, and then it came out, and it's a load of rubbish. I've watched enough episodes to know. I think I've watched about 11 episodes. I've watched enough to know that I don't want to watch it anymore. It's horrid, and it is just it's just lazy. I can't help but think it's just lazy. It's a horrible show in my opinion. Good animation, but that's it. Yeah, so Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes is a fantastic series altogether. I think it's amazing. I think from the start they introduced characters fantastically. They gave everybody their own episode in which they could, introduce them and give them something to do, and they didn't copy exactly how the movies did it, but then they didn't do exactly like the comics. I thought it was really interesting to see actually how they introduced people and brought them into the team. I thought it was really fun actually, and they did an excellent job. And especially you've got a fantastic lineup. This is the lineup that was originally in the comic books, and you've got Hank Pym there with Wasp and all that. Like those two often get thrown out of things when they make an Avengers team. They often get pulled out of it, and I like to see them all the time. Yeah, so the lineup originally is Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Ant-Man / Giant Man, Wasp, and Thor. And then later on through season 1 they introduce Hawkeye. He gets to be part of the team, and Black Panther, and they do those fantastically. It's a lot of fun to see the episodes where they go to Wakanda and they recruit Black Panther, and they really integrate Shield pretty well too. They've got backstory with Black Widow and Hawkeye already set up, and it's a lot of fun. So season 1 is it focuses a lot on the Shield side of things actually, with the Cube, which is like the prison that they have all these supervillains locked up in. And as you can imagine, that just gets broken, that just gets destroyed, and villains begin to leak out. And you see a lot of your famous ones, but you also get to see a lot of small ones that you would never expect to see in a cartoon before. And it's really awesome to see their designs actually. Going back a little bit, the animation for the show, when I first saw the pictures, I thought it was going to be horrible. I thought it was horrible when I first watched the first few episodes. I thought it was horrid. I thought it was much like Spectacular Spider-Man, actually. I thought they were both horrible. But then after about 5 episodes or so, you start to really like it, actually. You start to, well, not only adjust, but actually like it, yeah. And as the show goes on, I think they get better with the animation too, actually. So they do better things with it. And yeah, so just going back to what I was saying about the villains, is the designs for some of them are really cool looking. Some of them are really different and really fun. You know, you've got Crimson Dynamo, and he doesn't look exactly like the comic books, which is fine with me. I mean, I'm all for cool redesigns if they look good, and they do. So then we have Season 2, and Season 2 is where things go insane, is where the show starts to really, really ramp up, and they start to get an idea of what they actually wanted to do, which was big story arcs that they had introduced early on in the season and then resolved later on. And the first season did a little bit of this, and they continued it here, and they did it better, I think. I think they got a better grasp of what they were doing, I think, and it works better, I think. And they're just more interesting stories. Like, you get stories with the Kree and the Skrulls come in, and maybe it's just because of things that I like particularly. But then you get Miss Marvel, and she gets fully introduced into the team, and she's just like any of the other Avengers. You know, she's part of the team just like them, and it's really cool because she works for S.W.O.R.D. and everything like that. And that's just really cool to me, that they can bring in so many different characters. And you know, Season 2 has an episode with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's a fantastic episode. I still remember that as being one of my favourites for sure. And it's just like, before watching that episode, I know a bit about them, the Guardians of the Galaxy, but never knew, like, I've never read any of them, but definitely after watching that I had a big interest in them, and now that they're making a movie about them is really cool. Yeah, so in Season 2 you also get Vision and Red Hulk and a whole lot of people. In fact, you get Doug Samson introduced in the first season, but he makes a bigger appearance in Season 2. But you get Fantastic Four, you know, Luke Cage, Spider-Man, which was awesome, Wolverine, War Machine, Winter Soldier, Yellow Jacket becomes a thing later on in Season 2, and the Falcon, just Iron Fist, you know, so many characters. It's so cool for a comic book reader to watch it and just be able to point out their favourite characters and, you know, see how they've been redesigned, like little tweaks, and just it's very cool. And like I said, a thing about the show is that they liked doing story arcs. They liked, you know, it was kind of similar to the old Spider-Man show, if I had to compare it to anything. Like, they set up things earlier on in the season, and then you know, dealt with them later on, and, you know, they'd introduce a character and he wouldn't get, you know, a full story, and then later on he would, and the character would be resolved, and, you know, just things like that make it feel like a real show, and it make it feel like a comic book almost. And that is definitely something I enjoy a lot. So I think the series is fantastic. I think it's one of the best cartoons based on comic books ever made. I think it's fun for non-comic book readers, so it appeals to everyone, I reckon, including people that have watched the movies, because you got, you know, specific ties to that, and it works together really well. I think the animation at first is a little but it gets better, and especially in Season 2, like, Iron Man's armor changes, looks a bit better, Captain America's costume changes a bit, and I think they put more detail into some of the animation, so that works out a little bit better. But altogether, I think Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes is a fantastic show, and you should check out, whether you're a comic book fan or not. And it's definitely a shame that it's getting cancelled. I can only hope that this new Avengers Assemble cartoon that they're going to do that takes over will be half as good. So yeah, all right.